So I've been selling for just over 15 years, I guess, 17 years, using Profiler for the last 4 years. It's really helped me. I mean, if I look at my customer list, I know all the customers, and I am a lot of them I'm actually quite close with. But to be able to tell you every day what equipment they have, what they're looking for, everything be up to date. Whether I'm on the road, whether I'm in the office, whether I'm at home, whether I'm on vacation, I always have that right in front of me. Especially with the app on my phone, it's really helped me a lot just to be able to have all that information handy right away. So when we get an email that says we get a new trade, I mean, most of the time the first thing I'll do is go click on my customer list. It's basically 2 clicks. 1 click gives me the list of the customers who have air seeders, for example, and I know exactly who has what air seeder, who would be looking for an upgrade, things like that. So it's really simple to find out who would be a candidate for that fresh trade. Actually, it just happened today. Went to a farm, looked at Profiler before I went to the farm. Noticed that our ISG guy had spoke with one of the guys on the farm about something here a day or 2 ago, and so I just followed up with him. Would have never known that had I not looked at the touch points. Just everything to be at your fingertips and is really handy. One of the things that I really like about Profiler is I mean, how quick we can get changes made to the system. If I have questions or things that maybe I'd like changed, I just email Profiler, and usually within a day or 2 that change is made if it's something that we see fit to help with other guys. It's actually interesting. We have the way we've set it up is all of our customers have a pin on the maps. It's integrated with Google Maps. Every customer has a pin. One of the things I know with having multiple stores, I don't know where every customer lives in some of the other stores. Need to go look at something on their yard. I don't even need to talk to anybody to figure out exactly where they are. I just look at the map, find out exactly where they are, and go from there. So we just went through our budgeting for the next fiscal year. Really easy to do. You add the piece of equipment, add the dollars, and throughout the year you can look at it, you can update it. I really like the progress column. So you have your list of things you want to sell, and then you can put it after it's been sold. It moves into the progress column, and so at the bottom, you can see any day where you're at as far as your sales go, and it helps when you can see that right away and all the time and know where you're at. So yeah, to add the equipment into the budget's easy. We can budget as far ahead as we want. I think we're doing up to 4 or 5 years. We're budgeting ahead, and it just again it keeps you focused. It allows us to know exactly where we're at. If you feel like you don't have anything on your plate or any quotes that maybe you should be doing, you can just go back to your budget and okay, hey, I budgeted Farmer X for a piece of equipment, so I better go find out where he's at or find a piece of equipment for him.
I've been using Profiler for 3 years. Use it on a daily basis. I would say biggest thing just to have your customer profile at your fingertips at all time is key when you're doing business and you get certain trades. Of course, you can think 2 or 3 places of this trade could go probably instantly, but with ProfilerPRO, quickly looking over your customer list, you can easily, for myself anyway, usually double my customers that come to mind just off the top of your head as to how many farms this possible trade could go to. So having the customer list handy, having each of their profiles handy is key, and also for your daily to-do list, if you want to call it, having that at your fingertips and being able to reference that at any point, just to see how your week is going as far as progress goes, is very handy to have.
I was kind of thinking it's kind of like a one-stop shop. Like you can pretty much get, a lot of the information you're looking for can be found in Profiler. I would say I find 2 things that I would use the most frequently, and one is touch points. It helps me stay on top of our customers and, like I said, their interactions with our dealership. The other part of it would be the machinery wanted list. Customer asks or requests a quote on a machine that we don't currently have. I can plug it into the want list, and that helps me keep track of when a machine comes in trade. I can very quickly look back and see which one of my customers requested a machine like that, and so it really helps me to connect customers to machines much more quickly and efficiently. Profiler Pro, with the touch points, that gives us the option to look back on any one or many more customers and see what our contacts have been with that customer, and also the frequency in which we contact that customer, and what the conversations, just a short summary of what the conversations were about. And it really helps us to keep in touch with our customers and to stay, to know what conversations have been happening and how frequent they happen. I know if the service manager has contacted them regarding their pro checks. I know if anybody from parts department has contacted them in regards to any promotions that we're currently running, oil and filter sale and so forth. I get to see those items as well. So it really helps me stay in contact with our customers, and also who else in the dealership has recently contacted that customer. We used to have paper lists that would have our customers on there, would have a list of their current machinery and so forth. And moving to Profiler Pro has allowed us to do that live. So when a machine comes in trade, I remove it from my customers list into the dealer bin, and then let's say a salesman out of another location sells that particular piece. They take it from the dealer bin and move it into their customer machine list, and so we can move machinery around much more easily than having to reprint machine lists and paper copies and run the risk of running an older version and so forth. So Profiler Pro has really helped us to speed that up and automate it for us. So now entering the next fiscal year, we set our budgets. We plan as far as our customer list. We plan what pieces of equipment that they may have interest in and kind of what we'd like to quote them. And then we tally the dollar values separately, and then we also count and it tracks our progress as far as what we budgeted, how far along we are to that budgeted number. So that is all tied into Profiler Pro. So at a quick glance, you can kind of see where you're at as far as the budgets go, and it's kind of interesting to reflect back and on a previous year and see how closely we budgeted, and then how many of those budgeted quotes turned into sales. I would say my time on Profiler is probably split pretty evenly between the computer and cell phone. I tend to log touch points either before I leave the farm or shortly thereafter. And then I can send myself a reminder to follow up on that sales lead, or if there's something required, or maybe I want to pass on a message to another department. I can do that from there. And so I use the phone version. I would say about 50% for sure. So we log in Profiler Pro the whole goods sales, parts and service sales, and precision ag sales. So at a glance, you can break it down per farm, and sales history from the last 5 years of business with them. I find that to be really helpful, as well as the precision ag engagement. We can see how connected they are with, or how well they use Operations Center, and we also can tell the equipment that they have on the farm as far as precision ag equipment goes.
You try to start out the week with a plan for that week. I want to quote or demo or close this deal, and you don't want to forget about it. And just in the busyness, I find it is easy to have those things slip my mind. So what's super nice is when we do our weekly sales planning, we call it 4DX, 4 Disciplines of Execution. We always enter that into our Profiler Pro, and I can grab my phone, hit the 4DX button, and be like, oh yeah, okay, or I've done this, but I need to focus on these things, and it's a lot easier to manage time that way and to prioritize things. And then if it's like, oh, I met this customer and he's like, hey, can you get me a price on something like this? Then I can put that into my next week's 4DX so that I don't forget to talk about it when we're doing our planning the following week. Using the mobile version, super user-friendly, easy to use. if I'm sitting down in a meeting with a customer, maybe it's not the AGM, but they ask a question about, when does that lease come due? Or they ask, what's my payment on that tractor? And I always have all my payment schedules in there as well. And I can pull that up in a matter of seconds. Or if I'm at the parts counter and I need something for a piece of equipment, and they're like, oh, what's the stock number to charge it to? And it's like, oh yeah, I'll get that for you. No, it's just grab my phone, which is always with me, profiler, customer, machine, here's the stock number, parts is happy, then we can keep going about our day. Every piece of equipment is pulling the JD Link hours from Operations Center, from JD Link, so I can go into the fleet view. A lot of my customers have 20, 30, 40, 50 pieces of equipment. I can very quickly go into fleet view. It lists out all my hours, all my factory warranty end dates, power guard end dates and hours, and then I can just see everything at a really quick glance where things are at. I don't need to go through machine by machine and that this takes hours upon hours. It can take 5 minutes, and you can have that meeting or have that as part of your meeting with your customer. I like to do it at my, have an AGM with each of my large growers and just have that as part of it. And they really appreciate that, because then they don't have to worry about, oh man, is this coming up on the warranty end date, or do I need to be looking at this piece of equipment or that piece of equipment? We're always at the forefront looking after them, and that really ties them back to the dealership, back to myself, and shows that we really care, and keeps them coming back. There's an alert system that's built into ProfilerPRO where, I'm not tracking a couple hundred pieces of equipment and their hours. I'm not looking at them daily, weekly, monthly. And so there's an alert that pops up saying, hey, you're getting close to your end date or your end hours, because it's pulling those hours from JD Link. And that'll pop up on my phone, on my computer, right on the ProfilerPRO. It gives you a nice drop-down box. You can just touch it. It opens up and says, okay, this customer, this model, serial number. It references how many hours of power guard it has, how many are remaining. You don't have to go look at anything. You can bring that, take a screenshot, send it to your service manager, send it to the customer. Hey, do we need to quickly get this in? We don't want to miss out on any warranty work possibilities. I had a coworker who was missing in action for a number of months, and so we just put that customer's profile, added it to mine. I could nicely see all his pieces of equipment, serial numbers, years, all that good stuff, and could just pick up from there. And it just had a lot of detail and more confidence right off the hop to deal with that customer while that salesman was off work.
I work in sales administration, so I'm constantly helping our sales staff find information, update customer information, and helping them use the system as well. As far as using the system and reliability-wise, it's been really fantastic. We've had very little downtime, actually none that I can recall. The system works on a daily basis. It's really fast. Haven't experienced any speed delays, any degradation of performance over time. So the system's performed very well. When we're looking for customers, specifically customer accounts, we find the customer search field is much more user-friendly. It's way faster than anything that IntelliDealer has. And the also known as field is one of the best features, because you can set up multiple also known as accounts, and it finds the customers much faster than any other search would. As far as the mapping feature goes, we actually use that on a almost daily basis. We often have salesmen wanting to quote, especially new equipment, out to a customer, and we say, well, are they in our AOR? And they're always like, oh yeah, they're all in our AOR. But with ProfilerPRO, we have GPS located all of our customers, and we have an overlay of our AOR map, so we can say with confidence, yes, they're in our AOR, or no, they're not. So that helps us often finding which customers we can actually sell new to. Previously, you just have a paper map, and you'd say, yeah, I think the guy farms around here, and here's the rough AOR. Where now we've drawn the lines within Google Maps. It's laser focused to the exact lines that they fall under, and we know exactly where basically every customer is located. We can have multiple locations, of the bigger farms that have different farm sites. We know where they all are. When things change, we can easily change their locations. It's super user friendly. Yeah, I would say in regards to budgets, in the past we used Excel spreadsheets, like probably many people have for many years. Now that we've switched our complete budgeting system to ProfilerPRO, we go line by line, farm by farm, and we find it's almost like harvesting your customer database. Whenever you go through your budgeting profile annually or maybe biannually, you're going to find updates to the equipment information that the salesman hasn't updated throughout the year. You'll find details that have changed. Maybe a son has joined the farm that you didn't have. You're gonna add a lot of information while you're doing the budgeting process. We also find that just talking to our salesmen about that specific farm by farm, we harvest information, leads, details of customer visits that haven't come up before. So the whole budgeting process, when we specifically go line by line through Profiler and we have that snapshot of the whole farm essentially, we find that that's invaluable. We would definitely never go back to Excel as far as the budgeting process goes. Yeah, well, we're budgeting each year. It's nice because we have the previous information saved in Profiler as far as models and dollar values of what we anticipated selling them. We have a progress column that we keep track of what we've sold that current year. We also use the future years because we can go as many future years out as we want and enter in, because oftentimes the customer will tell you they're in the market for a sprayer this year, combine will be next year, four-wheel drive will be 2 years from there. So that's very valuable information to get that from the salesman, to enter it into each future year, and that way we've almost done some of the pre-budgeting in the future years, and we can keep track of all the past and present information that way. So it really helps streamline the budget process, and I think it just gives us more horsepower going forward.
Hi, my name is Nathan Reimer. I'm the Precision Ag Manager for Green Valley, as well as our branch manager for our Morden location. I'm in ProfilerPRO every day. That's one of the things I log into, that and Operations Center, and they're great tools for running the business. So one of the big things I use ProfilerPRO for is looking at the customer equipment and creating assignments out of that and campaigns for getting information out to our customers. Also for opportunities, looking at customer equipment and cross-referencing that with things like engaged acres, highly engaged orgs. We can use that as a tool for which customers to be sitting down with and explaining the features and benefits of Operations Center and connectivity. Yeah, so another great feature of ProfilerPRO is the model search. We can go in and use model searches to look for opportunities for doing puck upgrades, precision upgrades, or for MTG upgrades, or even from the sales side on inventory upgrades. If we have our 4045 sprayer, let's go look at our 4930, 4940 customers, and we can target some of those for upgrades. So from a customer account management side, whether it's for a salesman or for precision ag reps, it's very nice to have that list pre-populated, and they don't have to share the same precision ag rep as account managers. The mapping feature, you can pin customer yard locations and multiple locations if they have multiple yards. So this is great for a new staff that's starting and needing to know where customers live and where they farm. Also another feature that I use if I'm driving out in the countryside and I see a competitive piece of equipment or a piece of Deere equipment that I'm not familiar with, I can pop it up on my phone and search farms nearby, and it'll give me the customer's name who most likely owns that piece of equipment. Our farms always have multiple names. Some of them have numbered companies, some of them have just personal names. So a feature in ProfilerPRO that I use a lot is the also known as. So it's got a lot more usable search feature than Equip or CDK or some of those other programs. A feature we use a lot from our marketing side and crosses over into parts and sales as well is creating campaigns, whether it's mail or email. Very user-friendly tools in ProfilerPRO for creating mail email campaigns. You can pre-select by model, by location, by customer segment, and very quickly put together an email or a mailer campaign. Our parts catalogs all get mailed out through this feature. Very user-friendly, has definitely streamlined the process from using CDK in the past. Another feature I use is assignments. So I can create assignments for our Precision Ag staff, whether it is MTGs that needing upgrade, customers that need Op Center accounts created, or whatever our targeting program might be at that moment. And I can assign that to a Precision Ag rep, and then I can track very easily from a dashboard the percent completion, so I know which farms they've already hit and which ones they still need to be going to. So I would say I use ProfilerPRO more on the desktop than mobile, just being in the office most of the time. But I know our Precision Ag reps on the road, I would say they would probably be using it 50-60% of the time from the mobile device. Another thing I watch is engaged acres. So John Deere has some nice reporting tools through Tableau or through Dig, and I can take reports out of Tableau or get them emailed from your Deere rep and import those right into ProfilerPRO. So from a one screen dashboard, we can view our customers, the equipment they have, as well as how many engaged acres they have in depth and breadth. And we really use this as an opportunity tool. If they're all green equipment and we're not seeing any breadth or depth, we know we're missing something on that farm. So that's a tool that I upload monthly, and then I can also track engaged acre by salesperson, by branch, by Precision Ag rep, and just help identify some trends there. So when we have new staff start, it's a huge leg up having their customer list already preloaded in here. We can remove an old staff that may have left, replace it with the new staff, and it's seconds, and we have their customer list updated. As far as their training to get onto ProfilerPRO, very minimal, very easy to use program. Another recent feature that was added to ProfilerPRO is photos. So whether it's individual customer photos or full farm photos from an event or equipment delivery, we've been adding those to ProfilerPRO as a database. So if we ever want to look those up, they're nicely sorted. But also for reception staff, service writers, maybe that aren't as familiar with some of our customers, we have their photos loaded in here now so they can help tie the customer to the farm and their face. So it's just a tool that allows us to be a little more personal in talking to the customers, remembering their name when they walk in the door. I really appreciate the user friendliness of ProfilerPRO. It's a very intuitive, easy to use program, and the speed of which we can adapt to changes. If there's features we want changed, it's usually just an email away and a very quick turnaround to having those changes implemented. So it's definitely made our business, from my branch management side as well as Precision Ag Manager side, run a lot more organized and a lot more smoothly, and we have one place that we can centralize all this information.